Hi everyone, it's me. Okay, so let me explain the title of this video. Everyone has the Tim Holtz dies, and I got them and I was like so excited just to even start playing with them. So one day I took them out and I thought, okay, I'm going to take them out of the package and I'm going to cut them out of chipboard. I just wanted to see what they looked like, actually cut out. So I decided I was going to start with the bird cage, and before I knew it, it's like the die took on a life of its own. I started doing one thing and it led to another thing and it led to another thing, and well, the long and short of it is I ended up using all of them just to play and see what I was going to come up with. And I had no purpose for this. I was just, like I said, I was just testing out the dies. And so, well, this is what I ended up with. And as I said, I was only cutting the dies. I wasn't really trying to make anything in particular with it. But I made this cover. Actually, there's nothing inside of it, and like I said, because I really didn't have a plan for it, I just wanted to cut the pieces out. So now, as you can see, what I mean by they mingled is that I've used kind of all of them on the same thing. So what I did was I took the hanging sign die, and I used two of those. As you can see, I kind of, let's see, how did I do that? I kind of glued them together in this fashion right here to make the stand. I wanted to have it longer. I didn't like that short cut-off piece, so I did that. I glued two of them together. And then, of course, it's covered by the flowers, so you don't really see it. I also didn't want to hang the sign there. I wanted to hang the bird cage, so I did that. And I used, from the brackets, or what do you call that one, the hardware, for this part, I just cut off that part of this piece here, the latch, and attached it with a brad, and then I used that same one to use as the closure. So anyway, I had started by altering this, and what I did was I used the Vintage Photo Distress Embossing Powder first, and then I used a stippling brush, one of these little hard brushes, and I dipped it into the Versamark, and then I tapped on to the cage. I tapped on the areas where I wanted to then use the milled lavender distress embossing powder, and then I heat embossed that, and with the same brush I took this Spanish olive paint, cheap from Michael's, 50 cents I think. I dipped it into the paint and I just kind of dabbed it on. So I just wanted to pick up some of give it a little bit of green in there, and I really like the way it came out. I've never worked with this stuff before, so it's all new to me. So I did that first, and then I thought, oh, let me add it to this. So I got some brads and I dipped them into some bronze, kind of copperish embossing powder from Joann's. I had bought a case of 12 of different colors, and so I did that with these. And then I started to do my bird, and for the bird I just used the green paint and I used the brown and kind of gave him some features. I used this yellow because I didn't have anything else for the beak, just to give it a little bit of different color. So that's how I did that. Then I started to add the flowers, and for the flowers were Prima. They're all Prima flowers. The leaves here are actually leaves that I made, and what I did was, for those, I had this piece of really thin chipboard, so I took my shabby shutters and I just rubbed it on there, and then when it was dry I took the Martha Stewart rose leaf and I punched it out like this. Watch it go flying in the air. Oh, you know what, this did this before. It kind of got stuck. Okay, well anyway. Oh, let's try it one more time. Let's try it one more time. This punch, maybe that's why it was at Tuesday mornings. And then I used the Vintage Photo Distress ink, and I distressed the leaf just on the ends, And then I took it and I folded it in half, and it kind of gave it just a nice little leafy look to it. So that's how I did those. And I use this makeup sponges. I have a Tim Holtz tool, but I really like this better. I cut it down short. I buy these at Target because the quality is much nicer. And when you put these clips on it, it really determines how much play you're going to get in your sponge. But I really like working with these. I think it's so much easier than that tool. So anyway, so then what I did was I thought, okay, now I've got this bird thing. What am I going to do with it? So I decided to make a cover out of a canvas. And hold on, I got to pull these out of there because that's what's holding it up. Here I used one of the Tim Holtz, those knob things. I forget what you call those. I don't know where they are. Anyway, I put one of those knobs here, and I used some grunge board to make this latch. And I had to make the hole bigger than what was there so that it would actually come over and I could close this. On the cover here, I first painted the edges with a dry brush in this Spanish olive color, and then I went back with the vintage photo and I distressed the corners. I used the milled lavender and I embossed this with a Tim Holtz, the love stamp that he has out. I used that in the back, and I glimmer misted with the dazzling diamonds. And I brushed kind of a dry brush over the whole thing so it would kind of take away the beigeness of it. And then on the edges here, as you can see, I made those lines simply by putting a little piece of cardboard in there and running my my sponge whatever over it so that it would appear to have those lines that some books have. And so I went ahead and I did the whole cover like that. And I also did the inside. So later on I probably will make this into some kind of a mini book. It was a fun process. Like I said, this is way out of my style. I don't really do this stuff like this, so I was really kind of pleased that it turned out the way it did. And this was an adage ticket. I just inked it up and wet it and scrunched it and then used it that way. So anyway, I hope you like this crazy mess. I'm not sure how it got to where it is, but I like it, and I'm going to hopefully be able to show you a mini with it someday or something. So thanks for watching and have a good evening.